give me not a thing.
They broke. They think it's my fault. No court.
Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Green 80! Green 80!
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Set! Green 80!
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Green 80!
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They were ball hawks last This week they had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And now running right through it. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 11 carries, 113 yards, and a score.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does. They want to make sure they get him there.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gardner. Touchdown, Cowboys! A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Bortles. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in this spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On first down, Bortles. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On the give, this is Drake. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the plate.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
When we're watching tape to prepare for this game, one thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Zeke with it. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance.
Put your own words on other people. It's surprising to you. Or it's illegal. Put your own words on how niggas feel. It was just disgusting. Being disgusted and surprised and amazed is different. I put disgusting on it to see them niggas do that to the boy. You feel me? That's what I put on it. Who's surprised and amazed? What? Picture you feel me? Don't do a nigga how you think.
Whoa, what's up, y'all?
With his 16th touchdown of the
Yeah.
year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Oh, yeah, Billy said, boy, Mike said he got 2
Now
of them.
the try here for the extra point. Point after,
I don't
right
believe
down
that
the
at
middle.
all.
And that makes the score 21-0.
Right.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the beat and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. 4 yards
Yeah,
on the
that's why they
pickup there, as
closed
it'll leave him
it.
with a
They did a
third and about
closed
4
beta.
more.
You can do it with an open
First.
beta too.
We haven't seen much
Open
from
beta
him running
just
the
let
football here
everybody
this
get
first
access
quarter.
No,
to
you're
it.
right about
And
that. We
that'll
haven't
be
seen
no
much of
pass
him at
play.
all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well.
Well, somebody was
when you're
saying
trying to
that
run the
this
football,
was
somebody get the
I'm
long
Keith,
game.
the dude
Keep
Keith,
handing
because
it to
when
him,
Mike
and some of those runs that
when
aren't
Mike
working
got
now,
that alpha,
they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more
bro, I could see
later
it.
on.
I hit
Throwing
Keith up.
there, but this pass is going to wind up
Told
incomplete.
him, I said,
Here's
hey,
Matt Hawk now.
told him one of
as
the
he's on to
commissioners
punt for Miami.
in the NOLA league. I said,
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
If we could get
This is taken at the
demo
15.
version of the game, and he was telling me, he
Nice
was like,
job on the
man,
return there, 16 yards.
he said they only gave him 2 copies.
The Cowboys
He only
offense
got
heading
2
back out and
passwords for
ready
the
to go
alpha.
again. And the ledger for them so far
And the
looks pretty
alpha,
good, doesn't it?
That's the one Mike had. It's probably got a lot of glitches in it, but it's
Not sure it can
it's
be
not
much
the
better
finished
than
product.
that. They've got to feel
And
very
he was
good about
like,
the
he said,
groove
man,
that
they've
they're
been
in at
real
this stage
tight
of the game.
this year with it. So then when I heard news
Fourth
about
down
the
run
closed beta,
successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
and once I saw what EA just was like, look, we just gonna randomly give these out, then I was like, okay. But I remember he was saying that they was, for whatever reason,
Gets around him.
they was tight with
And
this
he gets
one,
this one to
even with the
midfield
alpha.
before he's brought down.
So I don't know
First
if
play
it's
of the
because
drive,
of
a success,
the
19
new
yards.
features.
One
if
thing's for sure,
that's
this defense
EA
has to
thing that
figure
they-
out how to stop
Yeah,
the
I
ground
don't know,
game.
bro.
He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Here you go.
That's right.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Just
I
when you
made a
want on a
mistake.
first
I had
down
to
run,
put a
call it 8
fullback out of 8
yards.
yard tail.
And
I
it's
thought
second
I
and
made a
2.
mistake, dog. You weren't supposed
And
to
that's
do
tough
that.
duty for a strong safety because truly he's a
Yeah,
hybrid type
gotta let
player.
it happen.
A pass
Coach,
defender,
what
which
I
makes
can
him more
do.
of a defensive back, but really his tackling ability is like a linebacker. So they don't mind coming up and taking those guys on, but that's a tough task
No,
there, taking on the big fella.
I got Mamba and Adrian.
Now they'll run it on the toss. There he goes inside the 30. Oh, shifty. Whoa.
Yep, I got
And down to the
Mamba.
7-yard line.
I think me and Mamba.
It'll be first and goal when we
Look like
come back.
Saturday.
21-0 our score.
Yeah, I
EA
think I got
Sports
Adrian for
NFL
the
Sunday
very last
returns
game.
following this.
That's if Adrian.
The
played
NFL
Mamba,
on EA Sports
look like he's
is
on-
presented
like he's
by
gonna be
Snickers.
back, so.
You're not you.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now a chance to make that big
Bruh,
play really
I'ma
hurt. It's
tell you,
first and
what's
goal just
funny,
outside
dog?
the 5.
Tim started a franchise. He sent me the invite. I accepted it, but
They'll
I
try
never
and run
got
for
it.
it
I
on first
played
and
one
goal.
preseason
And he
game.
is into the end zone
And
for a Cowboy
that was
touchdown.
it. So I don't even know.
A great effort there. Touchdown number
Yeah,
15
see,
of the year. And
That
the
would have been
Cowboys will
good
add
if
on to
I'd
their
have got
lead.
that beta on a
And
weekend
Charles, when
where
you
I
catch
wasn't
that
working
toss
and
going
we
right
had
or left,
stuff
really,
we
but
was
right in
doing.
this instance, do
'Cause
you
I'd
go
have
straight for the
played,
pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want him to try and maneuver
I know
people
Tim
a
was
little bit
telling
so
me
you have
he,
some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try
It was
and
something.
move him a
I
little
think
bit
he
to
was
the
looking,
inside, and in
searching
this case to the
for
left, so I can get to the right side and get to
franchises
that
or whatever.
pylon
And Tim
and
said
wink
some
at
of the
it as I
ones
go
he
by.
saw,
So that drive,
them
4
jokers was
plays.
in
And
the
in the end,
off
it's capped
season
off
of
by
the
a
second
7-yard
season.
run.
So these cats, I told him, I said, well, they probably simmed it. But the game had just dropped, so yeah, they probably simmed it. But yeah, you had a lot of people, you could tell they was getting it in. The jokers was getting it in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Spins by. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
And I see
Marching
how we're
back onto the
going to
field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to
Start
go.
going online
Hasn't had his best
to
day to
see
this
what
point here in the
other
second
info.
quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, That also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll run with Drake. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's going to be
Taco Charlton.
It's going to be real
Get
interesting
him,
to see
and
what
that's
they're going
sack
to
number 8 for him on the year.
I'm going to tell you one of the
I'm starting
things.
to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot
I'm
of
gonna tell you what I'm
empathy for
probably
the
looking
QB,
forward
right?
to
In this
more
case,
than any. I mean,
Definitely
of
been
course,
on
I'm
constant
looking forward
duress
to
this entire
it.
game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this
team
football
selection.
game. A
Who gonna pick
terrific
who?
return. 30 yards all in all.
That's gonna be because we already. Everybody know it's straight Zion Williamson all over again. Adrian going to get the Browns. That's a done deal. After that, we don't know. Well, and Bums going to
Cowboys.
Philly.
They really
Unless
distanced
Bums
themselves.
get
They
wind
have put the
of
pedal to the metal,
the
I
whole
guess, so to
Patrick
speak.
Mahomes.
So
how he
definitely have them in the
overpowered
rearview
them.
mirror, don't they?
But
I
I
mean,
think
you're
Bums
exactly
going
right.
home.
Being
'Cause
able to
Philly-
string together these
Philly one of the
drives that end
stronger
up in
teams on
points,
the game.
it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time win
Believe
right
it or
now.
not, bro, I don't remember when I played
It
with him.
absolutely does, because
I asked
oftentimes
nigga,
it
your
translates
boy?
to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their
no,
offense that's
the
playing
running
so
back.
Well, they are clicking
Sony
right
Michel?
now.
Boy, nice. Boy, nice. I played with him. Edelman is not fast, but he a real good route runner. And Tom Brady, yeah, when Brady get in the zone,
Here we go. Wide 80.
Brady got more hot routes than any quarterback. Him,
Prescott looks to throw on first.
Andrew
His throw
Luck,
caught right around the 6. And he is
who
into
else?
the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
He's one of these zone
3
features.
touchdown passes
Brady
now for
got-
Dak Prescott.
it's either
And the
4
Cowboys add on.
4 more.
So the quarterback drops to
He
throw,
got
looks
different
over,
hot
and
routes.
boom, a guy that wide
you know,
open. He has
everybody
to
got
be
the
thinking,
same
wait a
set of
minute, this
hot
is some
routes.
kind of a dream. This is too easy.
But Brady,
Yeah, a great dream,
when he get in
one
the
you don't
zone,
want to
he
wake
get
up
more.
from,
He get
but for the
added. He get
defense,
extra.
almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Yeah. Right.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a route is on here in this first half.
Yeah, the elite quarterbacks, they get that extra.
Hardly
And
any
they
time
and what
taken
it'll
off
do,
the clock
bro.
there. 2
A
plays,
Joker could
and
think,
they
oh
find the
yeah,
end
I know
zone
when
for
he come
6
out next,
points.
he do this, his tendency more, and you been up, boy, you messed the game all up. That's a
Out
really
is the
good feature
kickoff
to have,
unit as
because
they run up
you
and
got
send
4
this one
more,
away.
because Joker's going to look for certain routes. Yeah,
This
I can see
fielded a
that
few
being
yards into the
real
end
good.
zone.
And like
no
you
run
said,
back
he
here. This will be a
deserving of it.
touchback, and it
You know,
comes
top
out to the
quarterback, he's very
25-yard
deserving
line.
of it.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive.
But that Patrick
a chance
Mahomes
maybe here for
deal?
them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and
You
he's
just
been
watch what
very
they gonna
quiet.
do, dog.
And the silence has been deafening for
That's
this team.
gonna
They
be-
don't need that at all. They need
that
fireworks.
Patrick
They need
Mahomes,
explosive
Tyreek Hill.
plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe you go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're doing like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Two
The
sacks last
Cowboys
week,
and the Saints
another
still
one
on the
right
list,
here.
dog. Do you
He's
know?
been
I did not
unblockable
look
lately, and I
at the
think that
Chargers.
goes
I
all the
don't
way
remember.
back to not just his offseason,
I
but the
didn't
film
look
study
at
he's
the
been doing
Chargers.
during the week, because I think he's found
But I
matchups that he
think,
likes, and he's capitalizing.
One of
Now,
the
a few
weakest
times he's even
teams on
defeated
the
double
game
teams. He
that
doesn't
I
care
know,
at this
the
point.
Dolphins.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
The Dolphins one of
Down shy of the
the
40 at the
weakest.
38-yard line.
They might be
Give him 10 yards
the
on the
weakest.
pickup,
You know
and just
another
like
team,
that,
dog,
it's
that's
third
kind
down.
of That's
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass.
I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Mike Gesicki, his second touchdown on the season.
They got you.
The Dolphins are in for 6.
I ain't too hype on Mariota. I'm not real big on running quarterback like that. But Mariota is they're young, just and they have some nice pieces.
Still the first half. You do have the entire second half.
Offensive line, it's not going to be a ton of. It's not going to be a whole game of.
A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins.
Oh,
this will be taken in the back of the end zone. And no run back
definitely
here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jay, you there? Hello?
They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, good footwork on the spin. Avoids him at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. Oh, Zeke with a quick feed. A big run that time by Elliott. 47 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
There we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a couple of things, too, I hope
in the first half. We'll come back to Miami
some of the not really the animation. I hate, sometimes.
Coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there. He'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL.
But they had it to where the DB, the nigga arm went through my chest. You get some of them little glitchy animations.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
A joker body
play
was
there.
going through another
His second
body
TD of the game at 16th on the season. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
How far?
And out come the Dolphins now.
How far are you behind?
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Bortles now on first down.
Yeah,
it's caught. Still
and
they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
For a little minute. Well, nah. Maybe about a couple of months.
Bortles to throw on second down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, I would say about 2 months.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the
funny
back
thing
in
is,
pass
I don't
rush. They've
remember
been
him.
able to
I
get
remember
home,
his brother
and they're
and his
taking the ball
sister.
away in coverage as well.
His brother live
How
right
you
here.
put it together, the
I'm
front
like,
and back working in sync, holding with a pretty good defense.
Now Drake, and not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. But now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense.
You remember me?
As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far.
He might be the same. He might be, no, I think he might be a year or two early. Bro, y'all got on that 2K yesterday?
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking to the ball.
You don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40
I
seconds
just saw someone with
remaining in
Walmart
this
closing
first
a couple
half.
of this.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Yeah, I saw that online day before yesterday.
On first and 10, here's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. On second down, here's Bortles. And he's going to go down again. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
That's probably one of the first things you don't know.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Oh, eluding the tackle. And a second spin. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Dog, I'm getting excited. But it's real slow.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on first and 10.
About 4 weeks before we play. So I'm like, yeah.
Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to try and go deep again. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm,
it's 8:22 at 8:30. You can start
but
getting
also
dressed.
what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do. and will attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Bro, I
the
used to
desired
get
outcome
those.
coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football
Bro,
and
yeah.
establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time, but the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
We'll be getting that game.
Swing on the field, right.
Prescott now from the 50. On the move to his left. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A really nice gain of 25
That
yards.
game, you could explode, bro. That game,
On
you
any
think
given
you could
pass play, you never
Red
know
dead?
exactly where your exit points are going to be.
Even,
On this play, it was
I
flushed to
don't
his
even know
left,
how-
still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
She in the kitchen, Pete.
First down, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Shifts by him. Open space inside the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Oh, another thing, too, they took
a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys add on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now.
If I'm
No
not
question
mistaken,
about it.
aggressive pass
And you
rush.
talk about on his back, he's not minding
Wait,
the
wait,
extra
wait,
weight
wait,
at
wait.
all, is he?
Is it aggressive
Carrying that just
pass
as
rush?
lightly as he does the
Or is it
football.
the-
What a great performance so far.
block?
Those 3 touchdowns,
One
it's
of
got
them
him
is
in the
gone.
lead.
I can't remember exactly which one it is. I can't think if it was the pass rush or if it's
Extra
the
point right
on
down the
offense, the
middle.
block.
And the lead will swell by 1 more.
One of those is.
So
For
that
some
drive,
reason,
6
it seemed like
plays,
it's the
75
yeah,
yards.
I think it's the pass
And it's
rush. I
finished
think that's
off with a
off.
5-yard
That's
touchdown
removed.
run.
They don't have that no more. Another thing you could do in your coaching adjustments now that you couldn't do, is you could set it. I'm trying to think, is that coaching adjustments or was that in? I'm trying to think if I don't remember if it's in the coaching adjustments
team on the
or
field
if it's
now
in
as
the
they will
settings
send
when you
this one
go
away.
to do like for if you want to
This is fielded a
the
couple
computer
yards
to
deep.
scout for you and stuff. I think it's coaching adjustments.
And he'll wind up about
But you
4
could
yards shy of where he would have been if he had
you could
taken
set
a
it for
knee
it to
as they'll
automatically
start
base
at the
align or
21-yard
for it to
line.
automatically man align.
So here are the
Like you could
Dolphins
turn your
now
flip
to get
off
ready
and on.
for their first
I think it's in that
possession of
adjustment
the second
screen.
half.
But
These
yeah,
guys
you
had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up
so
going
you can
nowhere.
have it.
Well, you know
You
how
could go
in baseball,
default.
when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they
you
bring
can
his
go
jacket out
default,
to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to solid, puts on sweatpants or a
man
wrap
align,
over his
and they're
leg to
gonna
keep
do it
it warm.
automatically every
He might
time.
need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work
I
he's
thought that
getting.
was a nice little feature.
To throw is Bortles. He dumps it off to Drake. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Taco Charlton in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 18.
One thing about they have a
tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Yeah, see, I just don't know defensively. Oh. Right.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. And you've already scored 3 times. You want 4. You want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down inside the 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
There's a lot of teams I ain't look at. Wondering about Denver.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there.
Why give Mama that kind of advantage?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there.
I just send it over
Taking
here,
it
bro.
in
I'll
from
send you a
4
20
yards
spot.
out.
If I wanted
and the
it that
Cowboys
bad,
continue to
send me 20
pour
spot,
it
but let me
on.
pick it for you. But all them
And
picks,
that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him
giving
just
him
one
then
shy
3 first
of the
round?
NFL record in a single game.
Set him up
And we
for the
all know
future.
he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute
I wouldn't
great
turn it
game
down
that he's had here in this one.
Unless I just
Point
had to
after,
have a
right
team.
down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. If I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Right.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Baltimore, bro.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
And Lamar Jackson, and you got Ingram. A nice little running back, a little power back.
On the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss, and 28 toss was their bread and butter. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
But they don't have all the episodes. I'm sure you could probably watch it on 5 still. That's all I said, but I almost didn't watch it just because of
into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Get mad all over
again. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
Serious, dog.
And the Cowboys add on. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created
great space. I don't know if it was just because
in Miami, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
I found
out as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The computer was very challenging.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Oh, yeah.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now
and
as they get
look,
set to
it
take
wasn't,
over here.
It didn't look crazy. It wasn't like, oh,
so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling because a one-point drive where you throw an interception. A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Bortles going to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Bro, I'm going to drop P off at Cam J. I'm going to go put my suit.
And out now come the Cowboys. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant performance as you could hope for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Bro, I was laughing because it was the other day we was on the chat.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'd have traded the first round. I'd have traded my 2 first rounders. Everything was like,
running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
Ain't gonna be no.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another
Joker
first
might.
down.
That'd be messed up. Joker been there, did all kind of
to the
stuff.
line now.
Bro, we gonna run one more. And the Joker that gave up everything. Ooh, boy, nigga be high.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
I was laughing, bomb funny.
Touchdown
With
number
his team
7
record
on the
is.
year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted.
I'm waiting because you remember last year it did it. I'm waiting for the little article to publish on the top team. The top team.
It's through the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins
Yeah,
getting set
I'm waiting
to
for
go
that
here.
drop
And
because,
down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to
like I
avoid
said,
what
I'm
happened on the
glad,
last drive, punting the football.
The Saints.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They
he
know the
gonna
score.
have to
They
go
know
on
the
with it.
situation.
Latavius
And by
Murray.
the way, the punter no longer exists in the offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to
Bruh,
start
look,
the
you
drive.
know what?
but that
Remember I
one is
traded?
incomplete.
Remember I got rid of
Another
it?
wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all
So I
that
can't even
does
something like,
is embolden the
I
secondary.
wound up trading
They
that
feel
boy.
good about what's
Never
going
knew
on,
what
and
even
they just play
full
better and
potential
better.
could have been.
Bortles. And he is going to be hit and
That
taken
ain't true.
down.
That ain't
Bortles
true.
sacked. Taco
Ain't
Charlton.
nothing but gossip
in
and
there to
lies.
get him.
Gossip and
Sack
lies.
number 14 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right.
Joe could talk
Going in the
about.
wrong
He
direction
heard
for
there
the
was a
offensive
fight in
guys.
the locker room.
Bortles now throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Taco Charlton in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Well, Ingram not there no more. Look, they done already took care of that for me. But Latavius Murray? Latavius Murray, he going to be gone too.
The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point.
That's
Got
a
me
different
thinking,
story.
what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
I get the same. That boy might be on the block. He might be on the block right now.
Again, yet another
We seeking offers right now for Murray. Bro, you know what the thing was?
There's no doubt in my mind.
I
hear
didn't.
that? Do you
When
hear
I
that?
played with the
It's not
Saints,
scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a
I was
tune
trying to
or
look through their
normal?
playbook to see if anything was
Yeah, she's doing more
different.
than humming. She's belting it
Oh.
out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this
Drew
thing is
Brees
flat
was
out
pretty
finished.
nice.
extra point
Camara,
up
I
and
didn't even
good.
run the ball a
And
lot
lead
with him.
will swell
Like,
by one more.
I was doing ask Tim. I did a bunch of passing. I was trying to see the difference because to me, I'll always be able to run the ball. That is not a concern of mine. I was like, but the passing, I need to see how difficult this passing gonna be. So I was really doing a lot of this. I did a lot of RPOs. I did a lot of shotgun. I didn't do no 5 wide. I really hate the 5 wide set to be in. I hate it, bro. Because I hate 5 wide. I can't stand it. I run your pivot play every now and again, but yeah, I don't go to that 5 wide much. And I know they got some cats I done played online be walking the ball down the field in that 5 wide, be like, bruh, like, golly. I just not committed like that. I might try to implement it a little more, but I really want to implement it.
And too much juice.
I want to be able to utilize my tight end better.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything
else. Most users and stuff, jokers ain't messing with niggas. Don't think about the tight end. They just
sometimes
ignore
it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
So we got 3 and 1 tackle that could do a whole lot.
Oh, him and Kettle?
Call it a gain of 4.
Him and Kettle, and boy, it's
6 to go.
Kettle in the hands of Goody.
They've been stymied left and right.
D used to hit the tight end a lot in 18. He didn't do it a lot this year.
Time for a break.
He would wear the tight end position out, but in the hands of either one of them.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
I wanted to get him in this one. They was
throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He's got the hook up to Lee. Escapes the defender. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really
got the honey badge in the secondary.
Now Bortles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Bro, I looked their playbook, the Arizona playbook, as far as formations. I mean sets. They only have 3 sets.
This will be caught at about
pistol.
the 6.
They got a ton of plays out the pistol. Pistols. They got a bunch of pistol formation, shotgun, and I think I saw goal line.
Brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics?
The thing I didn't like about it is I think they messed over. Unless they change it.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going.
No, nigga. 77.
Now
I was like, that's so garbage. And Lamar Jackson, 94. Russell Wilson was 85 or 87.
For pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
this one
I didn't like that
a while ago.
Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel.
For sure, dog.
No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it. All those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play here for the Cowboys. 62 yards. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field.